I'm Chris Shattuck, and this is How to Work with Content Types and Fields. In this chapter, we're going to wrap up building our contact form, and we'll learn about content types and fields by creating a new content type to hold some of our site-specific data. At the end of our last chapter, we had begun adding the experience level input to our contact form, and we had stopped for a moment to talk about machine names and tokens. Let's go ahead and continue building this form and filling out the experience level input here. So we are currently at the place where we've added a label. The field key was created for us. We don't need a default value for this. We don't need a description just yet. This multiple option is new to the select component type. This allows the end user to select multiple options. For our input, we want a user to select either basic, intermediate, or advanced, and not 2 or 3 of those options. So we're going to leave this unchecked for now. This options input is where we add those options, but there's a specific formatting to this, and so reading the description underneath the input can be very helpful. It says key value pairs must be specified as safe key, some readable option. Here's another instance where the key is coming into play. Notice that these options are separated with a pipe. It says that the use only of alphanumeric characters and underscores are recommended in keys, 1 option per line. So let's go ahead and begin adding our options. I'm going to go ahead and list the actual values that I want, and then I'm going to go back and create the machine names for them. So I'll add basic, intermediate, and advanced. And then I'm going to go back up to the top and let's add the machine names and separate them with a pipe. Now for all of these, because they're single words, we don't need to worry about underscores or spaces. We can just lowercase it and that will work. Okay, I'm going to scroll down. This select option also gives us the ability to load pre-created lists. And so if we took a look at this option here, we'd see we could choose days of the week, countries, and US states. And while there's no configuration options available to be able to add new lists, you can do so in code through a module. The validation is fairly standard. We've set it to mandatory. The display has a couple of new options for us. We can display this as a list box instead of checkboxes or radios, which would be the default, which is what we want to do. So let's go ahead and check that. We have the options of randomizing the options. This is if we want to get a better feel for people's ratings, for example, and we don't want to bias it one way or another. And we can hide the component title just like we could with the other inputs. Let's go ahead and submit this. Let's move on to our other inputs. We have comments and sign up for newsletter left. Let's go ahead and tackle comments. Call it comments. And this time, instead of a text field, we're going to select a text area. We'll make this mandatory as well. And then let's go ahead and click the add button. Everything in here is going to be very similar to the text field options, except that now we also have height and the ability to make this input resizable. This is if somebody's going to be inputting a lot of text and we want to give them the option of making the text area bigger. Let's go ahead and submit that.